Alright, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first time you are viewing any of my videos, welcome to. And in today's video, we have finally completed all of Returnal from beginning to end. And in today's video, what we are going to be doing, just like with the rest of the games that we complete, is review the game and talk about my thoughts on it. Now, this game is a PS5 exclusive. I don't know if this is a timed exclusive, actually, because I know a lot of the PS5 exclusives, like Final Fantasy 16 and stuff, are timed exclusives for a little while. But from what I know, that this game is a complete PS5 exclusive. And when the hell did this game come out? I think it came out of April. Yeah, it came out like around like the end of April of this year for, of course, the PS5. And because it is a PS5 exclusive, that the game does take full advantage of the PlayStation 5's 3D audio, and it also takes a full what is it called? What is their controller called? It takes full, it uses the full capabilities of the DualSense controller. And now, what does that mean is that when it's raining in this game, you can actually feel the rain on the controller. And some other things that the controller does is we're going to talk about that more when we talk about the gameplay. But shit, what do we have to mention? Really nothing else. So we just got to watch a cutscene real quick, and then we're going to talk about the gameplay. Returnal takes the form of a third-person roguelike/roguelite. Now, if you've never played a game like Dead Cells, Hades, or Risk of Rain before, you may be asking yourself, what is a roguelike? Now I said roguelike and roguelite because while they are the same, there's one key thing that makes a difference. A normal roguelike game, when you play it, the moment you die, you lose everything that you acquired throughout that run and are sent back to the beginning. A roguelite is a subgenre of that genre in which you are sent back to the beginning of the game on death, but you also acquire permanent upgrades. In Returnal, these take the form of like Metroid style upgrades, in which you can go as far so let me explain. In the first biome, you'll see like grappling hook things that you can grapple hook, but you don't acquire the grappling hook until you complete the second biome. And if you have ever played a Metroid game before, you know that there are places where you are supposed to backtrack to unlock new gear and weapons and stuff once you unlock different weapons. And now, this game has not three, damn, that would be a short-ass fucking game. This game has 6 different biomes, with the first 3 being in the first act of the game, and the last 3 being in the second act of the game, with, I think, 5 of those biomes actually have a boss connected to them, and then one of them is just like a, collect all the keys and everything. And then the game does also include multiple different weapons, from your starting pistol to, it's this weird-looking gun where it just shoots out stuff called, like, rot or something. It's the worst gun in the game, but you can acquire multiple weapons in this game and everything. And they also have what are they called, like not permanent artifacts, which are upgrades that you acquire throughout the story, which can do things like, depending on how much obolites that you have, which are this game's currency to fabricate items, your damage will be up a certain amount of %. And there's a bunch of these artifacts, like to the point where I've been playing this game for almost like 20 hours, I think, and I haven't not seen all of them at all. There's also these type of mechanics that have to do with, they're called data cubes, and you can find them throughout the world, and there's 18 of them. Yeah, there's 18 of them, and these ones unlock 18 more artifacts. There's also another thing that unlocks different artifacts depending on how much ether you give it. So this game does have a lot of replay value. While one run will only take you 3 hours to complete, who really has that 3 hours to sit down and play a game from beginning to end? Because there is no save feature in this game, which is kind of normal for roguelikes. It's you play it until you die, and then you keep going, and then your skill keeps increasing, and that's how you beat it. There's usually you don't save it and stuff, and like your progression is unlocking more upgrades that you can unlock during that run. But all in all, this game is really fun. Some other things that we talk about is there are malfunctions that can happen to your suit. So if you pick up like an infected chest, an infected health item, or the parasites, they will give you benefits. Like some of them will increase your health, some of them will give you, like the chest will give you a gun, the health items increases your health, and then the parasites always have like a benefit, and plus like a fuck, what is it called? I can't think of the word right now. But a disadvantage. So say one of the benefits will be that you can collect the obolites that drop. You have a wider range to collect them, while the disadvantage might be that they disappear faster. You take damage while you fall, and some of them are really can mess up your runs. There's some where you can't pick up health items. There's some will make it to where picking up items damage you. There's some that make it at full health that you will, what is it called, you get like 50% damage done. Oh no, there's two versions of these. There's one where it's at 50% health, you will, I mean at like at low health you will have 30% reduction of your damage, and then there's one where at full health you will have 50% of your damage reduced. Man, these have killed multiple of my runs, like multiple times. Another thing we got to talk about the gameplay is the adrenaline system. Now every time you kill an enemy, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you will see a little meter that it will build up, and once you get to level 5 of this meter, it goes from level 1 to 5. I'm everywhere today, man. Oh man. But it goes from level 1 to 5, and from level 1 to 5 you gain like, what are they called, like upgrades. So the first level you get the so in this game there is no reload. It's just like an overheat system, and when you like think of like Gears of War's perfect reload system, and once you actually do that, you can I think it increases like the damage. I'm not sure what it does, but once you reach adrenaline level 1, that bar that it takes to get the perfect reload increases, like it gets bigger. The second upgrade allows you to see enemies through, not really see them, but like an orange outline, like pulses when they are behind things. The third upgrade being you can what is third one? Oh, your melee damage is more. It's like, I think it's 50% more melee damage, and then this last two are your proficiency. We'll talk about that in a minute. It gets a 50% increase, and your obolite pickup gets a 50% increase. Now proficiency, it goes from level 1 to 30, and it increases every time that you use a gun. And what this does is make sure that the weapons that you find on the ground will actually be strong. So I really didn't even understand that, because I was just picking up like the weapons that were that had like, I was like, okay, this weapon looks cool, and I didn't even notice that that when the weapon had a higher proficiency rate, and depending on mine, the weapon can have bonuses like more weapon damage, more weapon proficiency, and there's like a cooldown time is slower. And then each weapon also, damn, I've been talking fucking forever. Each weapon also has certain upgrades that you can unlock. So for say the pistol has certain abilities like a ricochet rounds, 3 burst, and like high caliber. Some weapons have leech rounds, and you have to upgrade these from like, there's like once you pick up one weapon, it will be locked, and then once you kill enough enemies you can unlock it and stuff. And it's honestly, there's a lot in this game that you can do. Even though, like I said, I've played for 20 hours in this game by myself and for YouTube, and there's still stuff that I haven't even unlocked at all. What else do we have gameplay wise? Nothing really else that really stands out with the gameplay. You have your consumables, your weapons, your jump button, and everything. This game, all in all, is very fun, and it is very hard. It's depending on what drops during your run. Your run can either be one of the easiest things in the world, or it can be very hard. If you did watch my playthrough that I did of this, I actually beat most of the bosses first try. It was only the No, I think I beat all of the bosses first try. Even playing by myself, the only boss I had troubles on was the first one, and that is honestly because I had a very good run at the beginning. Because there's been times where I had a shit run, where tried to like fight a boss again and just died. So it completely depends on your run. And like I said before, there is no save feature in this game. So if you sit down to complete this game, I would recommend that you like move, like get to a certain place that you can feel comfortable stopping. Maybe like after you beat a boss you can stop, because there are like certain checkpoints to where you can skip two different like if you beat one biome there, you can skip to the next biome without having to go back and beat the boss or travel through the next biome, because you can get to every single level from the first level. And this game is fun as hell. I am see myself going back. I'm going to platinum this game and stuff. And there is also a secret ending and some other things that we have to talk about, even though I've been talking for a while. But the reason why I've been talking about gameplay for a while is because the story genuinely had me confused. So that's enough to talk about the gameplay. Let's get right onto this story.
I'll save this for later. Still need to play quietly. Attention, attention. This is Cap.
And now, before we talk about the gameplay, I really want to talk. No, wait, we already talked about gameplay. Before we talk about the story, I want to talk about one last thing that has to do with gameplay, and that is the DualSense. Because honestly, when it comes to this game, the DualSense is used to its full potential. With the left trigger, when you pull it down halfway, you aim your gun, and then when you pull it down fully, you have your alternative fire. And also, when you have parasites next to you, or when you open something, the microphone on the or the speaker on the DualSense controller, actually, the sound quality on it is very good, to where it's the point where you have multiple parasites on you, you can hear it through the controller, and it sounds really creepy. And then when it comes to like I said in the beginning with the rumble feature, when I was standing in rain, it actually felt like like the controller was being hit with rain. It's really they really did a good job with the DualSense and with the 3D audio that is built into the PS5. It saved me sometimes when I had my headphones on and I heard like a blast coming from the left of me and I dodged it. It takes really good advantage of all these features that the PS5 uses. And then when it comes to the story, it's it has me very confused. So like this game, the game's main story is that you crash land on a planet and you are now stuck in an infinite time loop every time you die, and it gets to the point where you get off the planet during the first act and you die 65 or 67 years later, and you end up returning to the same planet. Yeah, it's weird, because as I was playing it earlier, I thought I called it that the aliens were trying to ascend and they accidentally called up some type of Cthulhu, like ancient god. But then as it goes on, it honestly seems like this entire planet is like her own personal hell, because at the end of the game it is revealed that Celine did have a daughter and it was involved in a car crash, even though the game misdirects you and tries to say that Celine's mother was the one who died in the car crash. It was actually her daughter who died in the car crash. I think that's the problem. I think she dies in the car crash. One of them dies. It's really confusing. I don't know if this planet is like a allusion to her actual car crash, and that every time she goes down to the different gate of hell, it's a very weird story. And I know there's a secret ending that I think it clears some stuff up, so that most likely is going to be the final video of this game, probably in the next few days, because you have to go and unlock certain stuff to get the secret ending. But like when it comes to the story too, it is told through cutscenes when you enter the house, and also it is told by audio logs left by Celine's previous attempts to escape. And in the earlier biomes, she sounds more sane, more scared of becoming insane, but as you get to the later ones like the Frigid Waste and the Abyssal Scar, she actually sounds like she is accepting the loop. She basically gone crazy about when you hit the final hours of the game. And honestly, it's really, the voice actor for Celine actually does a very good job when it comes to acting this character in like 3 different points, because at the beginning of the game you can tell that she wants to get off of this planet, but by the end of the game, like, it's a really subtle shift to she's accepted the loop and everything and stuff. And the ending is one of these wild. I still am thinking of this. I hope the secret ending, once I actually do unlock it and everything, clears everything up. But we have to talk about some negatives about this game. The first thing that I do want to talk about is a negative, is that the game actually did crash a few times for me when I did use alternate with the 2 pre-order suits. I don't know if that is fixed now, but it was it sucked a lot because I was deep into runs, and when you would use like a machine or something, the machine wouldn't stop. It wouldn't like transition from the cutscene, so everything would be like you can walk through it and stuff. Another problem I had with this game was that you're supposed to be able to fight previous attempts. So like if you died, I don't know if it was like other people who were playing or if you were playing, but it was supposed to be that you can fight your possessed body, and I made it to the end of the game without encountering any of those, even though there were multiple patch notes that I seen that said that they upped the chance of those enemies spawning. But personally, in my like 20-30 hours of playing, I never once encountered any of those. Another thing I have to think, it's a little, I have to complain, but this game is not 4K. Unlike I said in the beginning, this game is actually it's 1080p, and it's like upscaled to like checkerboard 4K. And if I'm being 100% honest, that's not something that I should not be paying $70 for a PS5 exclusive game that can't output a native 4K. I understand that they wanted to, even when it comes to the frames per second, there are dips sometimes that I did notice where it dips down to the 50-55 range, I think, because I was seeing some like kind of slowdown. But really, that's all I have to do with the that's all I really have to say, like with the negatives of the game. Another thing I wish that they did was explain more of the mechanics well, because I didn't learn this until later on, but the health upgrades that make your max health do not spawn unless you are at max health. I didn't know that. There's also like some other mechanics where you can sleep in the Helios bed like I think a limited number of times to regain your health. And there's just other things too. But this game is very fun. I do recommend you go, if you do have a PS5, I do recommend you go buy it at even though I did say that it not being at 4K is kind of bad, I do recommend this game at full price, because it is nice to see AAA games that are not an open world or FPS or an RPG. And roguelites are personally becoming one of my favorite genres of games because they're fun as hell, and this one is actually really, really hard. Like I said, it does all depend on what you gain in this run, because there were some runs where I was being just killed left and right because of what was spawning, and on other runs I was making it to the end, no hassle, no anything. But that is going to come to the end of this review. Like I said, I do recommend this game if you own a PS5. And if you aren't that big on roguelites and everything, I do recommend you wait until this game maybe drops down to the maybe just 50, maybe 40 price range if you aren't one who has time to dedicate to a full run, because that is one of the major complaints about this game that I've seen online, is that it takes to sit down and dedicate 3 hours to completing this game, because that's all it takes. Because if you turn off your PS5 or anything, you lose that run, so you have to dedicate those 3 hours to beating the entire thing. But that is going to wrap up this review, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. While you're on my channel, I do recommend that you guys go watch my playthrough of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and that you guys go watch my Resident Evil playthrough, because we are uploading what is it, Code Veronica, yeah, and soon we will be on Resident Evil 4. And with that, this will most likely one more Returnal video, which will be the secret ending and how to get it. I don't know when it's coming out actually, but it should be coming out soon. But that is enough of Returnal, and I hope you guys enjoyed this entire series, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Peace out.
I remember everything now. I know why I deserve to be here. The crash. That's why I belong. It's always the crash I return to. You wanted me to see.